Oh God, Jeff, what's going on here?
Well, this is Gridrunner Revolution.
What? Explain anything.
Okay, Gridrunner was a game that was like on the VIC-20 or something. There's like a bunch of different 8-bit
some kind of British
80s.
toaster.
Yeah, British toasters, the BBC Micro, which made a fine spot of toast, let me tell you. I don't know what. Yeah, Gridrunner is a game from Llamasoft, one of the early games from Llamasoft. The people that went on to bring you Attack of the Mutant Camels, and more recently Space Giraffe.
Is that also not Tempest 2K?
Yes, the Jaguar version of Tempest, and then the versions that came later that were based on the Jaguar version of Tempest. Yes, Llamasoft, Jeff Minter, responsible for all of that madness.
As well as the visualizer on the original Xbox.
The visualizer on the current Xbox.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well then.
That 360, the neon visualizer, that's
Huh.
on him. So this is his latest game for the PC, and it is a re-envisioning, a reimagining, if you will, of the original Gridrunner, which was kind of like Centipede in space, basically.
I don't think I will, because this is way too intense.
Yeah, and this is let's be clear here. This is like only the 11th level, and this is when it's still easy. So I got hit, but I caught a sheep, so I'm still alive, naturally.
So you can't just say things like that, Jeff.
I can move the mouse wheel here to change ships, and each ship has a different way of shooting. I blew up that horn going off was me blowing up the sun. And creating a black hole, which makes my shots curve a little more intensely than it does with the sun, I guess. And the score is better. And also, a black hole will suck up flowers.
Why are there sheep and flowers in space, Jeff?
Space is
What's going on?
Is a really kind of a messed up place. So you can see the way those crab dudes are moving.
Yeah, I see the centipede.
There's a definite centipedean movements to some of that stuff. You can kind of see the roots in a couple of spots like that, but more often than not, this game bears very little resemblance, I'd say, to the original Gridrunner. I'm rotating my ship here, so I'm not even really. There's no fire button in this game per se. I'm constantly shooting. I'm never not shooting.
Yes, always be shooting.
So I'm just using the mouse to play this, and mouse button 1 rotates left, and mouse button 2 rotates right. And there are a few different ways you can play it, but they're all based on this concept. So you can play it with a 360 controller, but that doesn't make it a dual joystick shooter. You're still rotating your ship as opposed to just picking a firing direction and going with it. Snowflakes!
This game is giving me a splitting headache, Jeff. I'm not gonna lie.
It can be a bit much, dude.
But that is like Jeff Minter's thing.
That is most definitely the Llamasoft style of being a bit much. And yeah, I've seen some videos, some of the later levels, and I don't know that I'd ever be able to actually play them.
And I'm recognizing some of the sound effects from Space Giraffe.
Yeah, there's definitely some of those sound effects, and some sound effects that sound like that they were just sampled out of a Defender machine or a Robotron machine, just that kind of early Midway era, which Space Giraffe had some of that as well. And like Space Giraffe, it's a lot about sound. Every time that attention thing goes off, it's because there are snowflakes coming. Which are those are snowflakes.
Ah. Oh, is that he's saying attention?
Yeah. It's a robot voice speaking. And the different ships, like I said, like that Enterprise-looking ship has 2 shots out of the back, 1 out of the front. So you can kind of determine like what you want in terms of firepower, how you want to devote your shots. And the sun shoots at you, which is a really good reason to want to blow it up. Oh, man. Okay.
Got you.
Sheepy save.
Sheepy save.
Oh.
Got you again.
The sheep got away.
That
I actually died.
That time you're dead.
That time I actually died.
So is the sun the thing with like the little bowl kind of logo behind it?
Well, yeah, naturally.
Why are we calling that the sun?
Because that's what it's called. The intro to the game the first few levels give you some kind of basic tutorial stuff about what's going on. They tell you things like if a sheep escapes, the flowers will all explode. And then it's up to you to figure out that, like, well, that's why I want to have a black hole, because it'll suck up flowers before they can explode. So
how is this, how can you get this, Jeff?
This is for sale directly from Llamasoft. If you go to llamasoft.co.uk, they're selling copies of it there. In in a bundle pack, if you like, with the PC version of Space Giraffe, which is a pretty good version of Space Giraffe. If you
will that work on American PCs?
Yes, it will work on NTSC PCs.
Okay, good. It's not just for PAL.
It's not just for PAL PCs. Okay, so this is starting to get kind of intense, and me talking my way through it is certainly not helping.
No, I'm surprised that you've been able to keep this up as long as you have.
Yeah.
It's not really a technically complicated game as far as either the visuals or the gameplay, it seems, but I cannot think of a more overwhelming game.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot to take in, and like I said, these are still the first few levels, which they have deemed as easy in the difficulty setting. So when you complete this, it kind of stops and says, "All right, you unlocked, the original version of Gridrunner, and you're able." Oh God,
sheep.
I caught that sheep just before it escaped. I'm gonna change ships here, get some more direct
sheep.
forward fire.
Why are the sheep trying to escape?
I think it's less that they're trying to escape, more that they're just falling.
Oh, okay.
They're doing what sheep do, falling.
But if sheep fall, then flowers explode.
Right. All right, end of level. And each level is named. This is Cornish pasty.
Jeff, I just don't think I've got the right pharmaceuticals for whatever the hell this is.
I don't take drugs. I don't take illicit substances. But I have to say, I have to imagine that if you did, this game would be impossible. That's my guess. Because it's a lot to take in, and I have my full faculties here. Well,
yeah,
I think that's passes for full faculties in my neck of the woods.
That's the issue, I think, is that you need to have less of your faculties.
Well, yeah,
do
I need to just see it on a different plane?
No, you just need to soak in less of it. Is the issue? Is you need to buffer between yourself and the Gridrunner with lots and lots of drugs.
I think if you did that, the only parts you would see are the parts that aren't gameplay relevant. And that would be even worse.
Okay. See, at this point, I can't tell. I have my full faculties, and I can't make that distinction. All I see is flashing lights and sheep.
Yeah, there's a method to all this.
And
okay, so there you go. I've completed the easy level. I get a bonus for all the ships I had. Congratulations.
Oh, God damn it, Jeff Minter. I like how all of those ships are ripped off ship designs.
Yeah.
I like how one of them looks like the asteroids ship.
It's for as much time as Jeff Minter has said things about, Space Giraffe is not Tempest and really being adamant about that. His games definitely are directly comparable to other things.
Certainly.
Like Space Giraffe is not Tempest. He's absolutely right. But
you can draw the parallels.
There's a lot of stuff. So let's go back and take a look at the original.
1982. Okay.
1982. So now I'm actually shooting, and there's no rotation. So you can see every time I shoot one of these not centipedes, it creates something that is not a mushroom. And every time those ships around the outer edge line up, they shoot something out and zap you, and that can get you.
Man, Jeff Minter really ripping off games here.
This was back in the day when this is what a lot of home versions of games were.
Yeah.
People taking, you look at like Battle Through Time for the C64. It's Moon Patrol, but with the Time Pilot time travel mechanic and stuff like that. It's, a lot of the games that were coming home in official capacity. So I got zapped by the thing there. That were coming home in an official capacity were not great ports.
Right.
And you had guys like Jeff Minter back in the day that. Could make games that were not the officially licensed games, but were, better and more interesting in a lot of ways. And that's really crazy. I mean, he made a game, I believe it was Attack of the Mutant Camels, that's basically the Atari 2600 version of Empire Strikes Back. There are big camels, and you're a little ship, and you're, shooting the holes in these camels.
Huh.
To blow them up before they march all the way to the right side of the screen. I mean, he's done some stuff that is purely original as well. But I think his most famous work has been kind of in the shadow of and updating concepts that were pioneered by other developers.
But this is 1982. He's been at this for a while.
Yeah. Jeff Minter's been making games for a long time. He'll give talks at GDC and all that sort of stuff. And okay, let's quit out of that and let's try the next difficulty level.
Surprised that doesn't just limit you to 3 characters.
Yeah, well. It's the benefit of modern technology, right?
So yeah, Vic 20 game, huh?
Yeah. There's endurance mode, which just
Camel.
there it is. There it is. There's the camel from the game I was talking about before, the jukebox. That's from that's the dude from Ancipital, I believe it's pronounced. I'd have to sit there and read it, but that game was.
What's his thing against apostrophes?
They're bad news. What's his thing? No idea.
I'm asking you because
Look.
you're the only person I know that has any insight into the life and mind of Jeff Minter.
Yeah. So that was the Korma stage that we finished earlier.
Uh-huh.
Maybe move on to Madras and eventually unlock Vindaloo.
I go for some Vindaloo.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Well, do you go to the end of hard or this one?
You can't. You have to get there.
Okay.
You have to get there. You can't just start there. So, the game has support for shader model 2 and 3, and rather than just saying, "Hey, turn it to however powerful your computer is," the manual, the README that comes with it when you get it just says, you know, both of them have a different look, and you know, maybe you'll like one more than the other. It's just like there's a definite style and a method to
But
the way these
goddamn
dudes,
neo-hippies.
the way these guys make games.
Just however you want to do it, man. We're not here to judge, or we're just here hanging out with our
they
sheep.
are here to judge because it's so rigid with score stuff. I mean, remember Space Giraffe had a thing at the end of every level that would basically say like, "You're not good at this game." It was very like kind of deliberately arcadey, old school, kind of like.
You should try
you are
harder.
nothing. Yeah, it was very demeaning. Very demeaning. So I guess
There's the Tempest ship.
Yeah. I guess I don't really have much more to show you.
Yeah, it seems like this is kind of what the game is, and
Yeah.
either that does something for you or it does not.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't think I think I prefer Space Giraffe, even though I'm probably better at this. Or at least I get the impression from these levels I've played so far that I would go on to continue being okay at this game.
And this is
Whereas
like
Space
a-
Giraffe, I eventually reached an upper limit of like, oh, dude, I can't do that.
And this is like a $10 game,
You know, I want to say it's 15.
15.
I want to say it's 15, but don't quote me on that. You need to check. It is affordable, let's say.
Okay.
And you know, they've got PayPal set up and stuff like that, so purchasing it is incredibly easy. Like, I immediately got the email with the code in it and all that stuff, and I guess I would say that I recommend it because it's cool and it's weird, and if you like stuff that's weird, you will probably like this, right?
I think I'm going to go lie down.
Let's just lie down and I'll just keep playing.
Okay.
All right.